Dope stuff as well, you know? None of us were in
You know,
Stockton back then.
I think first of all, Stockton is a very unique place. I think it's mostly associated in the public eye with always has negative connotation, a bad reputation for lots of crime and violence and murder and things of that nature. And which there is. It's always been that way. Even before I was born, it was like that. So I'm almost 40, so it's been a while. But there's a lot of great things there, that I like to focus on more so instead of the shit that everybody knows. There's a lot of beautiful things there, and we're kind of like on the music scene, kind of like catching a little viral YouTube wave right now. It's kind of crazy what's happening in the city right now. But it's a unique place, man. There was, like when I was a kid going to school and stuff, there's, a lot of gang banging and fights and, just, guns in your face, bullets flying past you, that kind of thing. You just got to keep your head on a swivel. But at the same time, I think it really prepared me just for life in general. I think the type of, it's probably one of the most, if not like, I can't say the most, but one of the most diverse places I've ever been in my life. Like literally, like everybody in Stockton has to grow up around people that are not like them constantly. You know what I mean? Like I'm thankful that I grew up in a place like that. I could feel like I could be more grounded, like the rest of the world when I move. But we have a lot of great things, man. We have some superior athletes, man. Like I think one of our high schools, Edison High School, it's I didn't go there. It's one of the fucking grimiest high schools in the whole city, man. One of the most grimiest high schools I ever even seen in real life. And it has one of some crazy statistic, one of the highest percentages of like high school athletes that went to the NFL or something like that was this high school. And fucking we got the Diaz brothers, obviously motherfuckers can start to fight. That's no surprise there. But
and I think before the Diaz brothers, wasn't this dude the bad boy? No, that's one of the Diaz brothers, but wasn't what's his name? One of the early UFC guys. I forget his name. He had the colorful hair. He was doing the colorful hair before everybody in the UFC.
I don't know. I don't think he was from Stockton. I'm not sure.
He was not from Stockton.
I'm not sure. But there's a lot of people from the area, even like Ken Shamrock and stuff like that. They're like 20 minutes away from Stockton in a city called Lockford. You know what I mean? It's like super close. But, even before we had Dallas Braden, who he was a pitcher for the Oakland A's. And he pitched the 19th perfect game in baseball history, which if you don't, I mean, I'm not much of a baseball guy. If you know what that means he struck everybody out for the entire game. And he's the 19th person in baseball history to ever do that. And I think he got like a page on fucking Sports Illustrated or some shit, like a cover story, and like it was on Mother's Day, and he's always been raised by his grandmother. His grandma was in the audience. It was like the perfect moment. You know what I mean? And he's actually a really good friend of mine. We went to school since 7th grade together. You know what I mean? Like Dallas is my homie. You know what I mean? It's just some Stockton shit. It's just that's like my good friend. You know.
It takes like a movie buff to really use words like the perfect moment, in my opinion, the way that you describe that. That's amazing. I'm really glad you shared that.
I mean, it was like, think about it, man. Like fucking Mother's Day, your grandma's in the audience, you throw the 19th perfect baseball game ever.
Yeah.
Like, no, what
that's
the
definitely
fuck?
epic. Now I know I'm a baseball guy, and I can tell you like there's a difference between a no-hitter and a perfect game. Yeah. No-hitters, many pitchers have pitched no-hitters because you can like give a walk away and let a guy get on base with a no-hitter, right?
Because he technically didn't hit.
Technically speaking, he didn't hit, right? It's like he walked to the base. So like it's a no-hitter. There's a lot more of those than there are perfect games. Perfect games is another level of it. It's one of those very like rare, like, feats that like it can still happen, but it's rare, and it only comes along every so often. Yeah. It's not a guaranteed perfect game.
That's a big moment. And Stockton, we're always pushed under the rug, and people look at us just as this negative connotation. So every time something like that happens for us, we're so fucking juiced, man. We're so proud. You talk shit about the Diaz brothers out here, you're liable to get beat the fuck up, dude. It's serious. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, when Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor It was like the biggest Stockton sports moment ever. It was insane. It was insane.
Yo, honestly, it's interesting that you're sharing this, just because like I find hearing people's perspectives on this kind of stuff, like nobody like you have like I was wondering kind of like a little bit why you had such a knowledge of every like these stats like that, but then the more you describe it, it's like, yo, because the reputation is that bad, it needs to be said,
Right.
and that's
I
big.
have to know this shit.
And I'm like, that's big, man. But,
also, real quick, where can you tell people where Stockton is exactly?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, man. Because most people, they think California. They're like, people hit me up, yo, I'm in LA, dog. Let's kick it. I'm like, bro, you're over 300 miles away, almost 400 technically. It's like California is like its own country. We are. Stockton is about 40 minutes away driving from the capital city, which is Sacramento, where the Kings play. And we're about an hour, depending on which part of the Bay you want to go to, maybe an hour and 15 to an hour and 45 minutes from the Bay, depending where you're trying to go. And then maybe about 5.5, 6 hour drive to Los Angeles.
Yo, I honestly thought it was near LA until you said that. I think the Bay.
Everybody does.
LA.
I mean, that's
everybody.
That's
has
how it
that
is.
problem.
You know
So
what I mean?
all my friends in New York City swear they're like, yeah, we can go. Like, they've met some of my Cali friends, right?
Right.
They're like, yeah, they're making plans for LA. And they're like, yeah, then we can go meet up with such and such. And I'm like, he's in the Bay. Do you know how far the Bay is?
It's quite a trip.
LA,
I really didn't until this
like,
conversation.
It's quite a trip, man.
Very far
quite
apart.
a trip.
It's like going from New York City to Atlanta almost. Like,
yeah, it's different. You know what I mean? We got different
is...
slang. We got everything. Everything's different.
You know what I
mean?
So I'm learning about like all of that stuff. But like for me, it's like, yo, I look at it like it's a state, and you look at it and it's like a chunk like that or whatever, and then there's a stick thing, and that's as far as I go.
Yeah, you don't realize.
I couldn't, if you were to put like gun to my head, pinpoint LA on the fucking California map, I would panic and be like,
I feel you, bro.
Is it on the?
It's a
I
big
think
place,
it's on the
man.
bottom somewhere.
I remember the first time.
It's almost all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, it's far. I remember the first time I went to New York, and as soon as the word hella came out of my mouth, everybody knew exactly where I was from.
Where you were from. Yeah, absolutely.
Instantly.
That's a that's one of those things where like I saw a show one time on the Discovery Channel, I believe, and it was like just talking about the many different accents in America, in the United States of America, and just like how much they change even within a state.
Oh, like, yeah.
You know?
Or if you go live in one for a while and come back, you'll catch that accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.